So Kunle was new to investing, right? And he opened his trading app one morning and saw his stock flying up. And he thought to himself, this one is heading straight to the moon.
Without thinking twice, he pressed buy.
But guess what happened next, right? The stock crashed faster than NEPA light during a football match. Kunle panicked, sold at a loss, and sat there wondering if his village people were monitoring his finances.
But the truth, he was simply guessing. And in the stock market, guessing is a one-way ticket to premium tiers. Hello, welcome to the Nigerian Investors Podcast, the unofficial podcast that tracks and reports on the activities of the Nigerian boss. My name is Mudi, and with my colleague Aye, we will be hosting this podcast. TNI Podcast is dedicated to stimulating a renewed enthusiasm among the general population with regard to the activities of the Nigerian Stock Exchange. Ultimately, the goal of TNI is to see that many Nigerians from all walks of life, both at home and in the diasporas, become active participants on the floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange. Before we go further, we would like to place on record TNI podcast is solely for educational purposes and not a replacement for professional financial advice. Let's begin. Welcome back to the Nigerian Investor Podcast. I'm Mudi, your host, and as always, I'm here with my co-host, the shirt washing, trend spotting, market timing guru himself, Aye.
What's up, investors? Today we're kicking off a two-part series where we break down the two major ways investors analyze stocks and even crypto, right? And that's technical analysis and fundamental analysis.
In this episode, we're diving into technical analysis, how traders use charts and patterns to make better investment decisions. Then, in our next episode, we'll explore fundamental analysis, where we look at the company's financial health, market position, and long-term value.
So whether you're a short-term trader or a long-term investor, you don't want to miss on this series, right? But before we begin, here's a quick disclaimer. The story of Kunle that we're about to tell you is completely fictional, but the lessons in this episode are very, very real. Technical analysis is a valuable tool, but investing always carries risks.
Also, we are not financial advisors. This podcast is for educational purposes only. So if you gamble your rent money on a trade and things go south, and you go explain, give your landlord.
Exactly. Always do your research before making any investment decisions. We always say this. So now let's get into it.
The first segment is Kunle's first mistake, guessing the market.
So Kunle was new to investing, right? And he opened his trading app one morning and saw his stock flying up. And he thought to himself, this one is heading straight to the moon.
Without thinking twice, he pressed buy, feeling like the next Warren Buffett.
But guess what happened next, right? The stock crashed faster than NEPA light during a football match. Kunle panicked, sold at a loss, and sat there wondering if his village people were monitoring his finances.
But the truth, he was simply guessing, and in the stock market, guessing is a one-way ticket to premium tiers.
Right. So, frustrated as Kunle was, he started researching how the pros seem to predict the market. That's when he found technical analysis, a way of using charts, patterns, and other tools to make better trading decisions.
He learned three important things. One, price already reflects everything. No need to guess. The price tells you the story. Two, trends are your friends. Stocks don't move randomly, they follow patterns. And thirdly, history repeats itself. Investors tend to react the same way over time, creating predictable price movements. That will bring us to Kunle learning the tools of the trade.
So Kunle dived into chart reading, right? First, he learned about candlestick charts, which helped him to see when buyers and sellers were in control.
Then he discovered support and resistance level, which are like market's speed bumps. Support is where a stock usually stops falling and it bounces back up. Resistance is where it struggles to go higher.
So one day, Kunle was about to buy a stock because it had been rising non-stop. But then he checked an indicator called Relative Strength Index, that's RSI, and he told him, Oga, this stock is overbought, so relax.
Meaning it was too expensive and likely to drop soon.
Instead of giving in blindly, Kunle waited for a pullback and saved himself from another heartbreak.
Now let's look at Kunle's first successful trade. A few weeks later, Kunle saw a triangle pattern forming on his stock chart. He remembered from his research that this usually signals a breakout.
He combined this with the MACD indicator, which showed the trend reversal was coming. So instead of guessing, Kunle entered the trade right before the price shot up.
And for the first time, Kunle made a calculated trade, not just a lucky gamble.
Now let's look at what Kunle learned. So what's the key takeaway from Kunle's story?
Simple. Stop trading like you're playing Baba Ijebu. Technical analysis helps you enter and exit trades wisely instead of hoping for luck.
But let's be clear about one thing. It's not a magic bullet. No strategy is perfect. If you think technical analysis will make you rich overnight, my guy, just open recharge card business instead.
All right, final thoughts. Kunle's story proves that anyone can learn technical analysis. You just need to practice and be patient.
And always manage your risk. If you're betting your life savings on the market, just know your village elders will hear about it.
But remember, technical analysis is just half of the equation. It helps traders spot opportunities. But for long-term investing, you also need to understand the company's fundamentals, financial health, industry position, and growth potential.
And that's exactly what we'll cover in the next episode, where we break down fundamental analysis and how to pick strong long-term investments.
So if you want to learn how to analyze stock beyond just price charts, make sure you subscribe and don't miss part 2 of this series.
And of course, don't forget to follow us on Twitter and YouTube at TNI Podcaster, TikTok at the Nigerian Investor 1, and Instagram and Facebook at TNI Podcast for more investing tips.
Also subscribe to our podcast on Spotify, Amazon Music, and Apple Podcasts to get fresh contents like this every week. Until next time, stay consistent, stay curious, and stay invested. Thank you for listening to another episode of the favorite podcast that brings insight to the Nigerian stock market. We hope you enjoyed today's episode. To get more episodes like this, follow us on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts, as well as on our website. All this information is available in the show note below this episode. Until we bring you another episode your way next week. Bye for now. TNI Podcast is executive produced by Mudi. This episode was edited by Rona at Rock Quarry Village Studio.